Hi, everybody. Dennis Prager and Fireside Chat number 349. So, next week is a milestone. This is my opportunity to offer you some thoughts, take your questions, and it's almost only you and I. No, it's almost only you and me. It's a very difficult one because only is a preposition, I think, but I love grammar and you probably don't, so I'll leave that subject for another time. But on rare occasions, about twice a year, I do have a guest, just for the record. Otherwise, we get a chance to really have this. It's sort of an intimate time, to be honest. I know it's odd, because obviously you're not in the room with me, but in a certain way you are. Because I know how people react to the fireside chat, because there really is a sense of realness. I don't feel like I'm in front of a camera. I know I'm in front of a camera, but you know what I mean. I really feel like I'm talking to you. Anyway, it's a long introduction. One other part of the introduction is that the people who are part of Prager United make the fireside chat possible because everything we do at PragerU is free. And there are massive benefits that you will really enjoy if you join Prager United. And just go to pragerunited.com, help us, and enjoy yourself. Okay, so I just got back from my annual listener cruise because, I have a lot of lives, and one of my lives is as a talk show host. I have a national radio show in the United States, for those of you not in the United States, or for those in the U.S. who don't know that. I've been doing this for 40 years, and for 30 years I have gone on cruises with listeners from across the United States, and on rare occasions from abroad, but it's almost always Americans, and we travel everywhere. So I have gone to Antarctica, I've gone to West Africa, I have cruised the Indian Ocean, and the latest one was 2 weeks at the Arctic Circle. It was great. How about this? If you don't know about this or haven't experienced it, and most people have not, I know how lucky I am, this will blow your mind. So here's an example. The captain of the ship announces, tonight the sun will be setting at 12:30. Yes, midnight 30. And it will be rising at 1:15. The sun set where we were for 45 minutes. And you look on the horizon, the sun goes down, and gradually just comes right back up in virtually the same spot. And of course, there's no night. My wife and I, and all of us who went on the cruise, we did not see dark for 2 weeks. And it's very interesting, among the many interesting things, because I'm going to reflect on a few things here, is I think that we are really created to have day and night. And of course, the people who live in the Arctic, they don't have light for about 3 months of the year, the 3 winter months, minimal. I mean, remember, if the sun sets for 45 minutes in the summer, that means it rises for 45 minutes in the winter. They live in northern Scandinavia, in northern Canada, in Alaska, or northern Alaska, or central to north, and of course where I was, Iceland and Greenland, and Faroe Islands. I mean, it's a really fascinating trip. They don't have sunlight for months, and they don't have dark for months. Now, I've often wondered which drives you crazier, perpetual light or perpetual dark? And I have to think it's perpetual dark because it's very easy to end light. You walk into your home or wherever you're staying, you close the shutters, and at worst you put on, as I did each night, you put on an eye shade. So you can create dark. Now you could say, well, you could create light, but it's not the same thing because artificial light, the body knows it's not light. Obviously, it provides illumination, but it's not light. I don't know what that is like. I know what it's like to be able to read a book at midnight outdoors. I just came from there. And you really don't know what time it is based at all on the sun. It's almost impossible to know. But I don't know what it is like to have dark after. I lived in England for a year, and that's not real. Of course, it's not in the Arctic, but there's not much sunlight. In fact, I'll never forget, this actually happened, and it's so bizarre I couldn't have made it up. One of my professors, I studied in Northern England. It's really Central England, but it's called Northern England. Like Northern California is really Central California, but it's called Northern California. I was at the University of Leeds, my third year in college. And one day, one of my professors, in his inimitable British accent, said, and it's an awful imitation, but this is how my brain heard him. So everybody, at this point, let me remind you that because we don't trust big tech to keep PragerU available, tragically, and we have reason not to trust them, the rest of this fireside chat is at prageru.com, and just go over there and watch it or listen to it, and it's a really important one. And just make it a habit to start each fireside chat at prageru.com. That way, if they ever pull the plug, you will have access to whatever we do. And the easiest way is to get the PragerU app. But whichever way you do it, I'll see you at PragerU.